Wrestling fans, what's going on? Doug McDonald here from WrestlingRumors.net, and you are on Wrestling Warm-Up, the pre-show to every single Monday Night Raw, and of course we do run it before every single pay-per-view right here on WrestlingRumors.net. Joined by our panel, always the illustrious and ever-pretty Mr. Alex B. Song. What's happening, brother?
Pretty good. Had some car troubles today, but, you know, Raw's a good, definite rebound for any bad day, right?
Is it anything like Ziggler's IC title problems?
A little bit.
Something like that. Mr. Walter, what's happening, brother? Mr. Atwater Sports.
The franchise is back, baby. Walter,
back
you
in
can't
the
keep me
house.
down forever, Jennifer Lloyds. I win this time.
Hilarious.
Follow me at Walter Sports. How about that?
Hey,
There's
there
my
you
key
go.
plug of the night.
And John Alba is enjoying a nice, well, it seems to be a land shark. Yep, there it is, land shark. What's happening, sir?
B-Song, they let 12-year-olds drive in Pittsburgh?
Hi-oh.
Hey-oh.
Hilarious.
hey, at least it's Bucktober, right, guys?
Oh, shh.
Hey, how about...
When do the Yankees play next?
There's wrestling.
When do the Yankees play next? I forgot.
You act like I give a crap about fandom, man. That doesn't bother me. I get off on trolling other people's fandoms. That's what makes me excited.
John, let's not open the show about what you get
You
off
shot some
on.
respect.
Let's talk.
That's true.
I do see that play ball drops on Tuesday. How about that?
Play ball drops in a matter of hours, my friend.
You want to give everybody a little update on what that is?
There's a rumor. Well, first off, it's the first single of the new AC/DC album, Rock or Bust, but there's a rumor that Phil Rudd's out of the band. So we're going to see what's going on there, because he wasn't at the music video shoot that they had for Rock or Bust the other day.
For people that aren't AC/DC marks, who is Phil Rudd?
Get the hell out of here.
I know
Paul
who
Rudd's brother.
Phil Rudd is the drummer for AC/DC.
One of the true
He's a
artists
machine.
of our one of the true artists of our time that can play a steady beat at all times, never get off rhythm, but keep a cigarette dangling off the end of his lip without missing a beat, not burning himself. Phil Rudd. Let's see what happens. If not Phil Rudd, who do you think they have going right now?
So they had Bob Richards fill in, who himself is a pretty good drummer. But hey, this is more entertaining than wrestling talk, right?
Let's hope for a bald head and two big old floor toms on the sides. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see what happens there. That guy was pretty sick, too. Oh, so we're talking AC/DC, but we should be talking wrestling. But it's October, and
That means we have more right to talk AC/DC.
wrestling in the fall is terrible. I'm a little bit excited for tonight's Raw because we have no idea what's happening in the October.
And it's in Brooklyn.
We have no idea what's going on for Hell in a Cell. We have no matches booked whatsoever. The pay-per-view is 3 weeks away.
Best pay-per-view ever.
No matches. I'm hoping that we get something set for tonight, at least the main event. The way things have always been going, at least for the last 4 or 5 pay-per-views, we get the main event set the week after the last pay-per-view, and that's all we have until the week leading into the freaking pay-per-view. This time, the last 2 weeks since a pay-per-view, nothing for Hell in a Cell except for we know Brock Lesnar's not going to be there. They've toyed around with John Cena, with Dean Ambrose, with Seth Rollins. And, of course, if you did watch SmackDown or you read some SmackDown spoilers, you know that, of course, John Cena did not get in to make the save for Mr. Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose got beat the crap out of him. What's going to happen tonight? Do we see tension between Ambrose and Cena? And that leads us to this rumored match for Hell in a Cell where, if you haven't heard, the rumor right now is what we're going to see is John Cena versus Dean Ambrose in the opening bout at Hell in a Cell. The winner will get to face Seth Rollins later on in the actual Cell main event, and the loser will either face Randy Orton in a Cell and/or will have the key for the lock that goes through the chain that locks the Cell in place. I'm not sure what we're actually going to see because we have no idea, because this is how WWE has been using their logic lately when it comes to creative. And so this is the rumor. I fully expect for us to get that opening bout and stipulation added tonight. I don't know if the stipulation is going to be added tonight, but I guarantee you we're going to get that opening bout made tonight on Raw. Guys, what you thinking?
I think that bout's better suited for like the go-home show of Raw, but that's just me.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
I don't think it should be on the pay-per-view, but this is WWE, and It's the fall.
Why is it so hard? Why? I mean, you have 4 guys. You have Rollins, Ambrose, Orton, and Cena. Split the 4 of them up into 2 matches and have 2 Hell in a Cell matches. Like, I wrote that on my piece where I predicted the card. I was like, have Ambrose and Orton in the Cell, and then Rollins and Cena in the main event. Just because, you know, the Cell is supposed to be so final, and this Rollins-Ambrose thing could go until WrestleMania, for all we know. So, I'd like to, and besides, if we go with the idea that we just discussed, like the planned idea, you have Ambrose and John Cena in the opening match. Chances are Cena's going to go over. You bury Ambrose, who you're trying to build up as your clear-cut number 2 face right now with Reigns out. And then you basically bury Orton because you're saying the loser has to face Orton. So it's like a downgrade for him.
Jazz in our chat room says maybe tonight we see Cena get destroyed and Ambrose doesn't make the save, and then we get the match made next week. John, what do you think?
I think is going to happen, friends.
You think we're going to see that tonight?
We need baby steps, guys, because it's just too much for our little wrestling cards to handle to actually get something made this far in advance. It's really hard for me because I had to write about October in our upcoming big project, and here's October again, and what do you know? October now is looking like the same exact October that we had last year, except thank goodness Big Show is not in the main event because that almost happened too.
It almost did. You're
not
right.
Yet, anyway.
I wish I could say I care. I wish I could say I was invested, but I've had so little incentive to feel invested.
That's about right. I mean, that shrug is how every wrestling fan feels right now. And there's been a lot of opinions on this, a lot of opinions that maybe Vince McMahon is the issue currently, or maybe creative just needs something else on the table. We talked about it last week. One of the former writers, Kevin Marshall, has recently been in interviews and in podcasts and stuff that he's been going on. He's been actually giving a little bit of insight into the creative process. And he's actually on the hot seat right now, and a lawsuit might even hit him from WWE because he's revealing this inside information that they've tried to keep contained for so long. And he is saying literally that it is Vince McMahon that is micromanaging everything to death, was his exact quote, and that it's Vince McMahon that is pushing us to making these hair decisions that are ridiculous. That it was him that made that split brain decision for the streak to end, and everything's happening for a reason. Vince is just trying to pull stuff out of his butt, but can't go the route that he went in, of course, 1998, and that's where we're stuck at. But I want to know if creative had a little bit less in the employee ranks, if we had a fewer. Again, we have 26 writers for that we know of. And they all have writing assistants, and they all have to push their stuff through the officials that work on the matches. Your Pat Patterson, who still does some things. You have the Stooges, who are now visible on TV. Mike Rotunda, Mr. IRS himself. Fit Finlay, Dean Malenko. You have all these guys that have to go through these matches with people, and then of course it has to hit Triple H, and then it has to hit Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon is taking these scripts and he's throwing them away and rewriting them 40 minutes before the show and even into the show. And that's where we're getting this lackluster stuff that gets thrown together at the last minute, and that's why we don't care, because you're talking about not having anything to be invested in, John. They're not giving it to us because they don't care. Between WWE Network and they already have our money and all this other stuff.
There's one incentive that we can take away from this. And it's that, for as bad as creative has been, the in-ring product has not suffered. Matches are still consistently strong, which a lot of people don't talk about, but they really are. And I think, and that's kind of what Vince Russo was talking to us about before SummerSlam. I don't think people really appreciate how good this WWE roster is right now. There is a lot of talent on this roster, even though they are missing their top guys, per se. There's a lot of talent right there, and I think we have to at least give some kind of credit.
Yeah, I mean, these mid-carders are huge, and they need to get a bump.
I mean, Sandow's been on a freaking roll.
Oh, dude, that guy's probably one of the most entertaining things about Raw.
Yeah, well, as good as the wrestling has been, it's like, okay, if you get Cena versus Orton on Monday Night Raw for like the 1,001st time, and they put on like a 4-star match, it's like, who cares? They could have the best wrestling match you've seen in weeks, and it doesn't matter if you don't care about what they're doing.
No, and that's the issue. But that's the issue with me, too. And, John, you make a valid point, because the last pay-per-view was not bad.
No.
The pay-per-view before that was not bad. SummerSlam was not bad, and our last pay-per-view event was not bad. Okay, these pay-per-views were actually decent. Night of Champions was a good show as far as wrestling goes. I will say that until I'm blue in the face. The wrestling on that show was phenomenal. I was entertained the entire time. Even the Divas bout was entertaining and was a good wrestling match outside of that one part. Okay, and that will show up on the next Botchamania when he says everyone talks too much. Okay, that will be there. But the wrestling has been good. It's the thing that makes you get invested in the product, and what gets you invested in the product, John, like you were talking about, is creative storylines. What these stories and these characters that you want to get invested in and see conquer things or see be the conqueror.
Doug, are they picking feuds out of a hat right now?
Basically,
it seems to be the case. I don't know if anybody else feels that way.
All right, so we're gonna take Cesaro. And we're going to pair him with, let's see. Boy, I really hope it's not Eric Rowan, because we're in trouble if it's Eric Rowan.
But there's the thing, though, with the mid-card titles, right? They had Cesaro and Sheamus, and then Miz and Ziggler, and then they just basically flipped those two. Now they're on opposite titles now.
This is John Cena, but I got a better idea. Let's dress Hornswoggle up like a gator.
Oh, God. It's almost like they have the Raw roulette wheel, and they're
that's what I'm saying.
Terrible ideas, and they're just spinning it to see what happens. That's what's happening.
Slater in a blank.
No, but I totally agree. There's no continuity. There's no storylines that are progressing past this whole Ambrose Rollins thing. And with throwing John Cena in the mix, it's just like they had nothing to do with John Cena. And then you have Randy Orton in this whole thing in some scary space. And people are talking about Ed in the chat room is talking about Randy Orton's stock has fallen since WrestleMania. His stock has not fallen. He's put on some amazing matches this year and about right around SummerSlam in 2013. And the entire 2014, I don't care what you say, Randy Orton has not been a bore in the ring. He has turned on his talent, and he has been as good as a wrestler in the ring that he can be. Okay? He has nothing to do creatively. That's the problem, and that's why you feel like his stock has dropped, because they're not doing anything with the guy creatively to get you invested.
Well,
that's
remember SummerSlam, his match with Roman Reigns? Orton was the star of that match.
Exactly right. And he called the entire thing. Every now and then you would hear Roman Reigns try to say something, but Randy Orton, if you watch that match again, you can actually see Randy Orton calling every spot to that match.
That was supposed to make Roman Reigns look like $1 million, and at the end of the match, you're like, man, Randy Orton still got it.
Exactly right. And his match with Jericho at Night of Champions. Incredible. It was the best match on the card, and it wasn't one for a title. It was just one of the matches. How many matches on that pay-per-view were not for a title?
A Night of Champions?
Yeah.
Two?
A couple, yeah, two, at least two.
2 or 3?
There were 2. And that was one of them, and it was the best match on the card.
That and the United States title match, but yeah.
Well, yeah, that was a good match too, but I'm telling you, the clinic that Jericho and Orton put on just goes to show those two guys can go for...
What does that say about Orton, though, in the sense that if this plan goes to fruition with, Ambrose and Cena, and then the loser faces Orton, doesn't that just say, you know what, Orton's just kind of an afterthought? We'll have the loser face him?
Because I don't have a whole lot of time here today, and I want to just pose this. Why would the Authority have any incentive to put Seth Rollins in a cell match with either of these two guys? That's my logic hole here. Like, why would they want to put Seth Rollins in a cell with... And there's no other face Authority figure making this happen.
Exactly right.
So,
that is such a hole. Other than it's the same logic we saw last year with the Authority starting and having Randy Orton as their face of the company. They had to be kind of heelish towards. They got tired of Randy being a crybaby and had to actually be kind of heelish and say.
But they've had no problem at all with Seth Rollins.
I
know.
No
issue.
Maybe we start getting those kinds of issues tonight.
Maybe.
Because Randy Orton and Kane have been complaining about him the last few weeks. He keeps causing issues that they have to clean up.
Yeah.
Maybe we get a little bit more of a rebuttal. Maybe that's their way of saying, okay, you've got to handle your business come Hell in a Cell. You actually have to be the one. Or maybe it's Seth Rollins that gets so pissed off because he keeps getting attacked from every which way that he says he wants somebody in the cage. and then John Cena and/or Dean Ambrose says, "No, I want him in the cage," and then that's where the match comes.
I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, Seth Rollins has been the absolute star of the past 3 weeks. I mean, Dean Ambrose has obviously been great since he came back, but Seth Rollins for me has just been on another level.
I'd have to say it's a split decision for me. I really think that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins have been phenomenal.
Yeah, no, they both have been, no doubt about it.
That's only because, like, with Brock Lesnar out of the picture, you might as well call Seth Rollins the human WWE Championship because everyone's running him.
His segment with Heyman was great. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, you think we'll see more Heyman tonight?
Hopefully.
Who knows?
I mean, it's pretty clear. Lesnar's not going to be at Hell in a Cell. It's pretty clear that.
No, that's
obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you have Heyman if that's the case.
The only thing is to maybe keep sticking it to Seth Rollins or keep trying to get a clear answer from these guys of why Seth Rollins did what he did. I don't know.
It's kind of a shame that they can't do like a 4-way in the cell. It's just that there's not enough superstars to fill out the rest of the card. Because I would love to see Ambrose, Orton, Rollins, and Cena all duke it out inside the cage, but there's just not enough talent right now.
Well, I mean, Orton. Let's just say if they're going to go the whole Cena, Ambrose, Rollins route, I mean, is that because if they do to the opening match, that alone shows you that there's not enough people there to work right now. If they do 2 matches with these guys, then that just goes to show that there's not enough, and they have to spread out the entire pay-per-view. But if there was, if the whole plan is to have the loser have the key for the cage, then that leaves Randy Orton with no one.
The only thing I could think of is if they say, you know what, thanks for helping out Seth Rollins the last couple of weeks, we'll have Orton and Kane face the Dust Brothers for the tag titles or something.
Ugh.
That'd be the worst.
Yuck.
Oh my God, that'd be the worst.
Not interested.
Nobody.
That's kind of like, remember that pay-per-view when Jericho and Edge became tag team champions and they complained and they kind of just slithered their way into that match? That could be like what they do with Orton and Kane.
The only thing with that is that they actually had a plan for Jericho and Edge. Like, they were going to run as tag team champions for a while and be a tag team. And the only benefit that came from that, outside of what they actually had planned, was that Edge got hurt and then had a feud with Jericho coming back, and that was a great feud. So I don't know what they're going to do. This is one of those.
It helps the Authority to have championship gold, doesn't it?
Of course it does.
All right, well then.
I mean, the cell match. Do you put the briefcase on the line in the cell match is the real question. For me,
no.
So you say no.
No, I would say no.
Why the hell do I care about seeing a non-stipulation cell match?
Because it's Hell in a Cell, and they think you'll just buy into it because it's Hell in a Cell.
The cell is a stipulation.
But
Yeah,
it's supposed to end stuff, not just be a stopgap or something.
Yeah,
No. For me, I've said it from day one. If you're going to put Ambrose and Rollins in a match like this, after all this, then the briefcase has to be
Almost every single Hell in a Cell match has had something on the line. Almost every single one. Not every single one, but almost every single one.
But see, the plan for like Hell in a Cell, especially with Ambrose and Rollins, would be like, you know what? Now Rollins has nowhere to go. He basically has to sit there and fight Ambrose. Like at their last match when they had the lumberjack, they were going off into the stands.
In the fans' eyes, what does Ambrose gain by beating Rollins other than by
revenge? It's
him?
redemption.
Just by
Revenge.
beating him.
Revenge.
But then where does the feud go?
Right.
Maybe it stops.
It can't stop right. It can't stop right now. So for me, if you put the briefcase on the line and Ambrose takes it from Rollins,
because that's as good as a championship match. That's as good as a championship match.
Then if I'm Rollins and I still believe that I'm Mr. Money in the Bank, I'm going to do whatever I can to try to get that briefcase back.
But if you think they're going to struggle to just come up with a valid reason why Rollins would be inside the cell, why on earth would they put the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line?
I'm just saying. You got to think it somehow gets there. I don't know what.
Could we see the Stooges just mess things up? I mean,
maybe Stooges could screw things up.
That far out there.
Stooges.
I mean, that's not that far out there. And we're talking about the fact that the Stooges might actually wrestle a match here.
The Jamie Noble return match, right?
Yeah. Which
you're desperate when.
your talent pool, or it's not your talent pool, but your main event stars are low when you're trying to pull.
You know what? An Ambrose Jamie Noble match would not be a bad match.
No, an Ambrose Mercury match wouldn't be bad.
Just saying.
I mean, either one of those, both of those guys can work. So I don't have an issue with them having a match. It's just how do you get there, and is it going to be worthwhile? I think WWE obviously believes that it'll be worthwhile, and that's why they're talking about doing it, because these two guys can still go. It's not like they're, Pat Patterson or Jerry Briscoe at this point. These guys are still young. Exactly right. I would love to see somebody like Mike Rotundo or Dean Malenko come out there and start being more on.
Yeah, give me Malenko. Now we're talking.
Dude, give me a Malenko Rollins match. I would lose my mind. That would be an incredible match. I'm sorry.
It's Dean Malenko. It's not Cyclope.
Armbar. Well, let's get to the chat. Okay, Punk even said, at least they could do more than Patterson and Briscoe. If the Stooges were if the Stooges were tag champs, would anyone really care? This is really funny. So, guys, if you get in the chat at WrestlingRumors.net, send us some stuff. If you're on Twitter, send us some questions, send us some comments. We'd love to interact with you guys here.
I got a split, but I just want to say this because I know we were talking a lot about this, and I'm going to assume you're going to get to this later. Royal Rumble rumors, man, off the charts, and you better believe if it's in Philly, Wrestling Rumors, the rest of the crew, we're doing it big, okay?
Oh, that's right.
That's just a teaser for all you guys out there.
We'll hit on that.
A big teaser.
We'll hit on that
minus the poor Canadian.
We're gonna hit on that a little bit.
No, that's on you, man. It's on you. I'll be
B-Song,
back there.
B-Song, are you actually gonna go to Philly? Are you gonna go to the Rumble?
I don't think I'd make it back alive.
We would ruin you as a person.
I love that. I had the camera on you.
Wait, what's
as you're creepily putting your lips up to the microphone, everyone's seeing you.
That's how I whisper.
Oh god.
What's the exact date for?
It would be January 25th, which is one day before my birthday.
That would be 6 days.
Because last year that was on John's birthday.
It was. This is true. And then the next night on Raw. The next night of Raw is in Hartford on my birthday. B-Song, you're turning 13. Good for you, man. I'll see you guys later, all right?
Peace out, dude.
See you, Alba.
Play ball.
Yep, play ball.
Attitude.
Oh, and we've got our troll on Twitter asking if The Rock's going to be on Raw tonight. He didn't ask the Sting thing? What's going on, dude?
Is this poorly grammar?
Yes. And, you want me to actually spell it out for you? Let's look at it.
Who's the cock?
Is The Rock going to be Raw? Not even an N there. Just is The Rock going to be Raw? I'll say no for you, Mr. Troll.
The letter N is overrated. Let's be honest.
The letter N is just where it should be, in between M and O. So we got this whole thing where they're talking about this Ambrose Cena stuff, what we're going to see tonight, whatever. Roman Reigns is going to be on the program tonight addressing his status, his surgeries, his injury. How would you book his interview segment tonight? Would you have someone come out? Would you have somebody, potentially try to get in his face? What would you do? Would you have Randy Orton come out and get in his face to try to add some continuance to their feud whenever he comes back?
No, you would have Rollins come out there. They were the ones that were having the match at Night of Champions.
I know.
You just have him come out there and brag about how he put Reigns on the... Because you're going to have a Reigns' first match back, or maybe at Elimination Chamber if he returns at Rumble. It's going to be against Rollins.
But I would have to say whenever Roman Reigns hits the stage and/or the ring tonight to address the fans, someone else is going to come out and talk some trash. And if it is Seth Rollins, then we're going to get either John Cena or Dean Ambrose stop him and attack him, and then we're going to have a melee like we always have been on the last few weeks of Raw. Dean Ambrose was on 5 segments of Raw last week. That just goes to show where they're putting their money. And I'm not going to say that I didn't enjoy seeing him that much on TV, because I did.
He was on how long?
He was on 5 different segments last week.
Oh, okay. Because they had to put him on in 5
Exactly right. Because they know that's... I at least will give them that. They know the fans want to see Ambrose right now, and that they had him on the show the most.
Right.
I'm not going to argue with that. That's a good move. It's the only move that seems to be prudent at this juncture. But if we look at the 5-point preview for Raw, they are already hyping up two Diva segments, just like we got. We got 3 Diva segments last week, right?
We got 3, yeah.
We got 3 that were just useless. Thank you, Total Divas, for being in Season 3 right now, so we can get all this useless Diva stuff on TV. There's only one Divas feud that matters right now. It's AJ Lee and Paige. I don't care what you say about the Bellas. That is utter horse crap. But they're going to have a Diva segment tonight with Brie Bella, probably in a match, and Nikki gets involved in some way, shape, or form. And they're going to fight at Hell in a Cell for who can use the Bella name. Why does anyone care about this?
That's why I care.
That is the worst entrance music I have heard in so long. Oh, it's bad. It's so bad.
Come on, guys, get jiggy with it.
No, it's so bad.
I think we might have 4 Diva segments tonight because, well, they're not Divas, but we have some spectacular guests of Hoda Kotb and what's the drunk one's name?
Kathy Gifford.
Yeah, drunk one. Kathy Lee Gifford. So that should be good. I know they're there for breast cancer research, which is a very good cause, obviously. But
yeah, they're going to be on the show.
They'll be on the show, I'm sure.
They're going to do the breast cancer awareness thing. Yeah.
Well, I know John Cena was on the Today Show today doing that with them. So I'm assuming they're just going to carry it over.
Right. It's hard for us to poop on that segment if it's, for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, I mean, they're chicks. They have breasts. We don't, so we can't really say anything. Acer wants to know, what do you guys think about the report about Divas being featured in the first ever Hell in a Cell match between Brie and Nikki Bella?
It's not happening.
Why don't you shoot on that one first, and don't shoot yourself. That's not good.
Those are my thoughts. I'm not speaking. I'm not speaking.
That's some Hardy Boys stuff right there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's what I can't fathom that that's actually a thing. There's no way that actually happened.
No way.
If there was going to be a Divas Hell in a Cell match, it's going to be Paige and AJ Lee because they're the two that could actually do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way it's Brie and Nikki.
Yeah, they'll have a match at Hell in a Cell. It just won't be inside the cell.
Definitely. And
I kind of hope it is though.
Jazz agrees with me in the chat. It is the worst entrance music in recent memory. It is absolutely awful.
Worse than the Sirens? I don't know.
It is worse. That. It is worse than Cesaro's.
I don't know. I mean, Breeze is funny. Cesaro's is just sad.
I can't stand Cesaro's the ambulance sirens. They're absolutely just horrid. And why they keep bringing him out in all different types of entrance gear. It was a jacket, and then it was a different jacket, and then it was a robe, and now it's a robe with Taz's towel on his head for some reason. I don't know what they're trying to do with Cesaro. They don't know what they're trying to do with Cesaro. At least the man performs in the ring, and that's what matters. The biggest thing for guy, because when he does actually get to show his charisma, he gets over. And I hope that he gets a chance here soon. And with this whole intermingling of the mid-card titles, do we see Cesaro get even close to beating Sheamus' title?
Sorry, you cut out. Say that again.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, what? Something happened?
You cut out, yeah.
My apologies.
Just repeat the question.
Do you think will Cesaro beat Ziggler, I guess?
Cesaro beating is over. It's Cesaro and Ziggler now.
Right. But the Cesaro and I forgot all these they flip flop and I can't keep track of what's happening right now.
Cesaro and Ziggler
apparently for a title that doesn't exist anymore because the United Airlines lost it. Do we think that the funny thing, they're building that up on Twitter tonight where Ziggler's saying United Airlines has lost his title, but Cesaro actually has it. What would you do if Ziggler
really
comes
doing
out?
That?
Well, I don't know, but what would you do if Ziggler comes out tonight complaining about United Airlines stealing his title and Cesaro walks out with his luggage?
Well, I reported on the site that they're actually sending it to happen for the show.
Say that again, because you cut out.
Oh, I cut out? Oh, sorry. Oh, he's going to get the belt back. They're shipping it back to him right now.
Yeah, what if Cesaro is the one that has it?
But Ziggler has it. There's no need to play this up anymore.
I'm just saying, what if?
What if Cesaro? You know what? You're just against Swiss people. We're not all thieves. We don't steal belts. That's not what we do. Let's just have the two of them. I know what you're getting at. But Cesaro's going to lose. No matter what. If he faces Dolph Ziggler at Hell in a Cell, we're under the assumption they're going to fight at Hell in a Cell, correct?
Exactly right.
Okay, well, he's going to lose because that's what Cesaro does in mid-card title matches these days. And I don't care if they say Cesaro steals the belt. Like, that's just the stupidest thing.
You don't think that Cesaro and Ziggler could flip-flop the IC title like Miz and Ziggler did?
Why would they continue to do that? That was stupid when they did it with The Miz.
Right now.
Oh my God. At the end of 2014, Ziggler's going to be a 15-time Intercontinental Champion. He's going to shatter the record just because they don't know what they're doing with this
The
title.
current record is 9.
Then he's going to shatter it. 9? Sorry, you're second place now. 15 for Ziggler at the end of the year.
Chris Jericho.
And Jericho's going to return.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how he returns.
That's
right
how he
there.
comes back in November, because the rumor is Jericho is going to be on board to come back in November, which is a lot earlier than anybody thought. But it's a good move for him because it's a steady paycheck, and he turned it on at the end of his last run, and they need more main event caliber people. So I'm totally welcome for Chris Jericho to come back in November.
Well, because Fandango's going to need a return match, you know, WrestleMania 31.
If Fandango comes back to TV anytime soon, he's not going to be Fandango.
If he comes back to TV
bold
at
prediction,
all.
Johnny Curtis makes a debut very soon.
His entrance is just him taking gallons of milk.
No, that's Kurt Angle.
Yeah, well, Johnny Curtis did that too, you know.
I know, but Johnny Curtis is going to be coming back, not Fandango. I guarantee it. There's no way. Fandango's been gone for how many months? 4?
Yeah, it's been a while.
4? They're repackaging that kid. Period. There's no way. Anybody wants a bold prediction, Fandango never makes. You want to play? You want to see Fandango in a WWE ring? Play WWE 2K15 when it comes out in a couple weeks. Let's talk about that, because if you haven't seen the My Career mode of that thing, if you are a fan of video games, you are a fan of WWE video games, get ready to have some fun, because that thing looks awesome. You get to actually make your character. You have to go through the whole performance center thing. I mean, am I the only one excited for this?
I'm stoked. I mean, the whole Bill DeMott thing, little, homage to the Penn Staters among us.
Is he going to? My thing is he going to sexually harass us the entire time that we are training in the performance center? God forbid someone create a wrestler, because that's going to be awful.
I'm going to create Matt Capitelli, and I'm just going to have Bill DeMott beat the crap out of me for about 15 minutes.
Oh, for people don't know who that is, you want to give them a little background on that little insider smart joke that you just made?
He was the winner of Tough Enough 3, wasn't he? Yeah, it was on the show. Matt Capitelli just got the crap beat out of him. I think was it Bill DeMott or was it Hardcore Holly? It was one of the two.
It was Holly.
Yeah, it was Holly. Yeah.
It was Holly.
Well,
Bill DeMott's the one that sexually harasses all the women.
Yeah.
Hugh Morris tries to get with all the females that come through.
Ooh.
Even the criers like Cameron.
And by the way, I'm accepting donations for anyone who has a PlayStation 4 out there. I'm still on my current gen console. I'm way behind the times. If you have a PS4, you want to send it to Walder's Way.
I got one.
Follow Walter Sports and cinema lines that you can do that again.
Exactly, Walter Sports, baby.
I'll take a picture of it and you can pay me for it on eBay. I'll be sure to share.
Damn it, Beast Song. We don't do that here in Canada.
See, well, yeah, you got to make sure that it's a version of PS4 that can work in Canada.
Because Lord knows the WWE network doesn't.
Oh Lord, I mean, y'all don't even have the network. Y'all have it on a cable network. It doesn't
no
even
pay-per-view
have
buffering though.
We have one
Just
pay-per-view
BS.
and it's December to Dismember. It's just I've been watching the
worst
Elimination
pay-per-view
Chamber 15 times because that's all I can watch.
Guys, we're talking about random stuff right now because I'm trying to think about things to talk about Raw tonight. We're gonna see a Gator and a Bunny go at it again. We're gonna see 2 or 3 Diva segments. We're gonna see something that I'm actually interested in. We might actually see Edge and Christian tonight. Give a little 5-second pose on Raw. If you don't know, on the WWE Network following Raw, Edge and Christian will be doing a build-up towards SmackDown's 15th anniversary show, which will be airing on Friday. So Edge and Christian are going to be doing this live thing after the show on the network, and they actually might appear on Raw tonight. That's at least something to try to get excited about, because anytime you hear "You Think You Know Me" and Alter Bridge kicks in, it's always a mark-out moment for anybody that enjoys Edge and or Christian. I'm excited. I really think that we're going to see those guys tonight, and that'll add at least a little bit of something to be excited for. I just don't know when they're going to do it. When do you think that they would appear on the show?
Alex?
I don't know. I mean, maybe clash with the Authority a little bit. That's about it. I mean, what could they actually do to like have any purpose? They might just stand out there for like 5 seconds.
Well, what
and
does Hogan do to have any purpose? Hogan comes out there.
I mean, that was for
his
breast cancer. That was for
well,
breast
yeah,
cancer.
the time before was a birthday celebration where he came out and
That
had a
was for
birthday cake with
Lesnar was
$9.99 on it. That was
Lesnar was there.
yeah. It still didn't serve any real big purpose except for to have Lesnar call him Grandpa on an improv line and piss him off.
Well, Cena saved him, didn't he?
Yeah,
was
but it didn't even save him. He ran in. They didn't touch each other. There was no saving involved.
That's the thing, though. If Edge and Christian come out tonight, they're gonna promote their damn show. They're gonna do a 5-second pose, and that's gonna be it. Like, there's literally nothing that's gonna come.
I'm more excited about that than 3 Divas segments.
Well, I mean, it's always nice to see Edge. I mean, I love Edge. But what?
It's just funny because you're like, I mean, it's what? Oh yeah, it would be nice to see Edge. I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like Edge. It's Edge.
Jazz wants the original Edge music. There's no better theme music than the freaking Alter Bridge Metalingos theme. I'm sorry, that is Edge's theme music. If he wants, they're not gonna do "You Think You Know Me" and come through the crowd.
You know me,
crazy glasses. That's not gonna happen. If it does, I mean, it'd still be cool. But on the thought about entrance music, since we're talking about that, Acer wants to know who is the best current. Who do you think has the best current theme music as male and female? Go.
I will tell you this. I work out to WWE entrance music because I'm such a loser, and I work out to it on treadmill and the elliptical and whatnot. The best entrance music right now is in NXT. I absolutely love Adrian Neville's and Sami Zayn's. If we're talking just WWE roster, frig, I don't know actually. NXT is better music. I can't think of one that really stands out on WWE. Alex, you got one?
I hate Adrian Neville's theme with my life.
What?
Go ahead.
That's mine then.
Talking main roster, I don't know. Maybe Ambrose, just for the kickstart my heart slide. That's about it. Though.
Exactly. Thank you very much. The Motley Crue. That theme would be the most generic, and it was the first couple times. It was super. They actually used that generic theme from Ambrose, like the actual bare bones part of that theme in Monday Night War. Like behind the Monday Night War footage, like in the actual Monday Night War episodes. If you're watching Monday Night War, and if you watch the Stone Cold Steve Austin episode, if you go back, there's certain parts of that episode that have Ambrose's generic theme playing in the background, which is hilarious to me. They just really took that and threw it into a thing. But for me, the way it starts with the Motley Crue thing, and then the added the lines to it, to me, technically he's not off the main roster yet, so the Undertaker is still my favorite male entrance music. Greatest female entrance music? I mean, I don't know. Probably Paige.
I got my answers now. I'll move away from NXT. Best female, I love AJ's. I really do. The best male one, I loved it the first time I heard it. I like Stardust's.
It fits the character very well. I'll give you that.
There's your answer.
I do love Goldust though. I've always been a big fan of Goldust theme. I think it's awesome. I think it fits the character. It's dramatic. It's good. All right, worst on any roster. I don't care.
Do we need a sample for the best though? I don't.
Nope. Do not play.
Alex.
It's gonna sound like crap coming through the microphone. Just don't.
Oh, I just got a call.
Bad timing.
The worst music, it's not even close. It's Cesaro.
All right, give me
Cesaro's is bad.
It's everybody else. It's Cesaro's.
I'll have to say Cesaro's and or Heath Slater's, because Heath Slater is still coming out in three-man band music whenever he actually comes out by himself. He's usually coming out with Titus O'Neil so that they can use Titus O'Neil's music, but he's still coming out to three-man band, and he's go back to the one-man band music. They had one-man band music before. Why can't they go back to that? I don't understand.
Who's the worst female?
Oh God,
Brie Bella.
Probably Brie Bella. Yeah. Yes, it's horrid. Absolutely.
There you go.
And I do love Sami Zayn's music though. I
really dig Charlotte's in NXT. The Ric Flair touch, so sweet.
Yeah, but I like that. I would have to say probably Curtis Axel's was the Ryback theme was absolutely terrible. If we're going to talk about tag teams, that entrance music is god awful.
It was butchered, yeah.
Really, really bad. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to expect tonight, guys. It's one of those things where it's Raw at this point. you just kind of go in going it's Raw, and you just watch it. And if you get excited during the show, you get excited during the show. We want to talk about a few rumors, though. Undertaker's talking about never say never. He's obviously going to wrestle at WrestleMania 31. The question now is, who does he face? Sting definitely wants a match. There's rumors about Sting. I'm going to go ahead and say this because we reported on it. About the Reddit user who said that Sting's debut is definitely happening after Royal Rumble. Dude,
Mets fan forever.
No crap. If he's wrestling a match at WrestleMania 31, I could have pulled that prediction out and said bold prediction on that. If he's wrestling a match at WrestleMania 31, he's either going to show up at Royal Rumble or the night after to build it up, or at least a couple weeks after that. It doesn't take a genius to say Sting's going to be on WWE TV after the Royal Rumble to build a match for WrestleMania 31. Don't call that a prediction that you have insider information. That's ridiculous. You just made an educated guess, which is what usually most people do anyway.
Well, he called AJ and Punk getting married. They were dating, and then he called them getting married eventually. So there's something. And he called JTG getting released. Wow! What a brainiac prediction that was.
It's just
Friggin' JTG.
What is with these people? The Dolphins 1925, the Dolphins blow chunks, the Mets blow chunks. These fake insiders need some better sports teams, in my opinion.
You won't be seeing any Raptors for Life Reddit accounts, man. They're not going to be making any crappy predictions. They're on the rise up.
What are those?
But
Dinosaurs?
we've got this.
Damn it, B-Song.
We got this thing with Sting, and I'm gonna talk about this because John alluded to Royal Rumble, and I'm gonna say if Sting does make an appearance at the Royal Rumble as an entrant, as a surprise entrant, Philly will lose its effing mind. Okay, I really believe if he doesn't make an appearance on WWE TV until the Royal Rumble, that would be an excellent place to do it, because you could have the lights go down, everybody thinks it's the Undertaker, and then you start the strings and Sting makes an appearance in the Royal Rumble. That's my call for Sting's debut. That's my bold prediction. Sting is an entrant in the Royal Rumble.
I mean, the Rumble's going to be so good this year, I think. I mean, last year I was thinking there were going to be all like the match itself was going to be this great thing, but this year's actually going to be good. I mean, we don't really have a definitive winner. We have so many potential like returns or debuts like Sting, Taker, Reigns, Bryan, Barrett. I mean, it should be one of the best Rumbles in quite some time. But go ahead,
I agree, dude. And as many times as we talk about the fact that we're stuck in 1994 right now, we've regressed to 20 years. 1994 into the 1995 Rumble, where Shawn Michaels entered at number 1 and wound up winning the entire thing. You got to think, at that time, there were so many mid-card guys that they had. It was one of those, like you're talking about, this is going to be an excellent Royal Rumble. And that Royal Rumble match was excellent. It was great. We had a crappy year after that, but it was a good Royal Rumble.
Do you want to make really early and completely unnecessary Royal Rumble picks right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, after you guys, I want to hear what you think. Who's the favorite right now? Assuming everyone's healthy.
Roman Reigns is still the favorite. But here's the issue. Because I say if Roman Reigns comes back for the Royal Rumble and he is, and I think they could start it tonight, keep the authority and Roman Reigns feuding for the next few months. Roman Reigns gets the number 1 position, and they literally pull a Shawn Michaels from 95 because he already set the elimination record last year. Roman Reigns gets in at 1 and goes all the way to the end. The only issue is, and this is the only way to book Daniel Bryan, if Daniel Bryan does not appear on WWE TV until the Royal Rumble, and Daniel Bryan comes and is one of the surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble, if he's not number 30 to absolutely blow that place apart, and if he is number 30, and Roman Reigns has been in there forever, and Roman Reigns has to throw Daniel Bryan over to be the Royal Rumble winner, that may send him into heeldom that he doesn't want.
Yeah.
He becomes Batista at that point.
They've got to handle that in a different way. I don't know how they're going to do that.
If Daniel Bryan's in the Royal Rumble, he has to win it.
I don't know if he
there's no way
has
around
to.
it.
I don't know if he has to, but somebody has to.
A heel has to eliminate him and set up a feud.
A heel has to get him out of there. It has to be like a Kane Punk issue. Somebody gets Bryan out of there because Roman Reigns cannot be the guy that tosses him out of that ring.
Exactly.
Cannot be. But I'm telling you, I would book Roman Reigns as number 1, make him go the entire way, and I would book Bryan as number 30. Don't even bring him out on TV before that. have him be number 30, and somebody has to eliminate him and start a feud for WrestleMania. Sting, I would have Sting come out with the lights down, like everybody thinks it's The Undertaker, but it's not The Undertaker, it's Sting. Man, there's a lot of stuff with all these returning guys, like AB said. There are so many people coming back for the road to WrestleMania. Do not say there are so many people that are coming back. Curtis Axel is not going to win the Royal Rumble. But there are so many people that are coming back that there's no way that the road to WrestleMania can't be slam-packed full of interesting things. But it sucks that we're having to already talk about the Royal Rumble when there's a show on in 45 minutes.
And then there's Hell in a Cell, which no one cares about. Then Survivor this time. And then TLC, which is just all about the stipulations, just like Hell in a Cell is. Right. So it's like, okay, well, January is just around the corner. We got that to look forward to.
Yeah, we're already talking 3 months out because that's where we are.
This is the worst stretch of the year. It always is, but it's been really bad the last couple of years.
It has. I got Big. Okay, the one last thing I want to talk about is that we have Big Show and Rusev. Like Rusev's going to win at Hell in a Cell if they have a match. That match will probably get solidified tonight or next week. Do we see Rusev getting past Big Show, going to Sheamus, and getting that U.S. title on him? Because I think that's the only thing that can be prudent for this guy.
Thank you for coming around to that idea.
No,
I was so against it at first.
I was not against him being the U.S. champion. I was against them putting him with international superstars. Like, there's no reason for him to face Cesaro. But with him facing Sheamus for the U.S. title, even though I still hate the fact if Sheamus is saying I'm the U.S. title, and it has to be about Rusev going after the U.S. title. Can't be about Rusev wanting to face Sheamus. It can't. That ruins his entire gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
But him having that U.S. title, and he should hold that thing until somebody finally beats him at WrestleMania. And they should keep Rusev undefeated until WrestleMania, period. How monster of a heel would he be at WrestleMania?
Unless he's in the Rumble. I mean, he would have to be eliminated by somebody. Would that be the WrestleMania match?
Well, no, he's lost by...
He already lost a Rumble.
He's lost via...
He's lost Battle Royals,
He was in the Royal Rumble. He was in the... he wasn't in the Royal Rumble. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it took like 5 days to eliminate him.
Yeah, but he wasn't Rusev. He was just Rusev, the guy from NXT.
Right, but he hasn't lost outright. He's lost via DQ, and that's it. You know, that's as far as he's gone. Keep him strong, make him dominant, keep him all the way to WrestleMania, and this guy will be a main event heel in 2015, which is something that we need. We need a main event heel.
Yeah, but he needs to really kind of just evolve that character because it's starting to get really stale.
I agree. There has to be, I think gold will help. I think the U.S. title will help. He'll have a multiple month. I think he'll have a few months of work with Sheamus, which will be a good matchup for him.
Right.
And we'll get gold on him, and he'll have a purpose. He's dogging the U.S. even harder because he's their freaking champion. I think it'll work. That's where we're going with that. I think the whole flag stuff is stupid. I agree with everyone in the chat room. The whole Russian flag dilemma that they had to apologize for with Big Show, that's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't really care. This is also one of those storylines it's a transition storyline. October's a transition month, and I'm praying that we have something good to talk about next week. I pray that tonight's show is good. I know we're going to have some moments tonight that are just awful, but I hope that for the majority we get something that's interesting and we have something more exciting to talk about next week. Boys, we're going to end the show because there's really nothing else we can talk about unless you want to talk about entrance music a little bit more.
Wait a second.
Oh, God. That's the only thing that...
I'll fill time with an actual serious thing. Hopefully, as we've seen so many, SmackDown replays, so to speak, on Raw, I'm really anticipating another Big Show apology. That'd be bloody amazing. Anyway.
Can we get Big Show crying one more time?
And then John Laurinaitis comes out and fires him anyway.
This is where we are.
This is what we've become, guys. What have we become here on Wrestling Warm-Up? What has this show turned into?
Lame thing music.
Bigger, better, stronger,
Oh, by the way, we didn't even talk about this. Do we see Eric Rowan promos tonight, or do we see a further push to Harper?
We may actually get a Luke Harper match because he's already on Twitter saying, and now he hunts. I think we get a Luke Harper match. I don't think we see Bray Wyatt with him. People are thinking Bray Wyatt's going to be his manager. That's ridiculous. Bray Wyatt is a superstar. They're splitting them up. He's not going to be his manager. I think we see Luke Harper in a match, and we probably see Eric Rowan promo because they've got to push this guy. It's not like he's just going to be gone. So
I think we might just get more vignettes.
If we get, I mean, we may just get more vignettes, but I think we get some Eric Rowan ones instead of Luke Harper ones tonight.
And Patrick is saying he wants to go to the Royal Rumble so he can take pictures with all of us. Well, you know what, Patrick? That's fine. You can take pictures with us, but I'm not inviting Jen. I just want you to know that.
That's racist.
Oh.
Damn it, B-Song.
Always makes wrestling warm-up a little bit more enjoyable. We're going to sign off, but we are going to have a lot of people in Philly for Royal Rumble. We're also going to have a big crowd at SummerSlam in August, so make sure if you do watch this show, if you do read WrestlingRumors.net every single day for your wrestling fix, make sure if you are at either one of these events, anything that we're at, if you're in South Carolina and you're going to be at Raw on December 8th, so will I. Come find me. I'll let you know where I am. We will hang out. I will talk to you. We will hang out. We will talk about Raw because probably talking about Raw will be more exciting than actually being there. But I will be there in Greenville, South Carolina on December 8th. That's where Raw is going to be. We'll be there. We'll be hanging out. And we'll be making sure that we have some time to spend with you guys. We love you guys. You are the reason that we do any of this stuff. So thank you so much. Follow us at WrestlingRumors for tonight during Raw. Make sure you follow at FManzo3, Frank Manzo, Wrestle Reaction. Wrestle Reaction will be going on immediately after Raw. And, of course, you can follow Alex B-Song at Glassmode ALB. And, of course, you can follow Mr. Chris Walter at Walter Sports, not at Walter Sports 26. You can, but he's not going to be on there much. It's going to be at Walter Sports. So you can follow me at Doug O'Mac or just at Wrestle Rumors. Either way, and especially during Raw tonight, tweet with me. Let's have some fun, and let's make this thing a little bit more enjoyable than just having to deal with the product that we're seeing. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
I'm back!
Bye.